Hey everybody, it's Dester. This is the first of a series of promotional videos I'm creating to promote the release of a pair of recordings entitled Life and Death. This video is about the musicians who were gracious enough to help me make these recordings real, and so I want to tell you about them and the awesome shit they do. Okay, here it goes. These recordings feature myself and 5 other artists, each of whom I encountered at different times in my career. Since he's kind of the bedrock of the vibe here, I'll start with Connor Kent on the drums. He played on a few dates of my original music when we were both living in Texas, and when I heard he was up in New York City, I really wanted to get him involved in something I was doing. He's got great pockets and really innovative ideas as far as timbre and orchestration, and you can hear a lot of that on these recordings. He uses lots of analog affected or prepared drum sounds to get really unique textures in the grooves. Connor's the most in-demand drummer I know in the city. The guy works like all the time, and he's kind of a big deal in the jazz world. You've also got Zaven Embry playing keys on Life and Death, a little Rhodes action, and a little organ action. I met him while I was busking, and he invited me to come to his longtime residency at Artichoke Pizza in Bushwick that he hosts every Saturday from 11 p.m. till ? He does live beats, sings, raps, and freestyles, plays keys, bass, electronic percussion, and opens it up for other performers to display what they do. Everything from horn players to tap dancers, singers, rappers, you name it, people come through. He's also co-founder of Resonator, an organization centered around music creators. Resonator's aim is to give voice to forward-thinking artists, regardless of race, gender, physical disability, or sexuality. They also serve as a resource for artists seeking business guidance and inspiration. Resonator hosts an annual event, aptly called Resonator Fest, which features a roster of innovative progressive artists based in New York City and beyond. At the time we recorded these tunes, I was pretty much following Zaven around and sitting in where I could. Ultimately, I met a lot of very talented musicians through him, 2 of whom are featured here. First is Keenyn Omari, a cat from Atlanta who I really wanted to get involved. He's somebody you should know. Super zen dude and just an absolute monster on the sax. Ironically, he doesn't do much shredding on these recordings, but he's a badass, and also a really sweet dude. He plays with Big Daddy Kane sometimes. And in addition to being a motherfucker on both alto and soprano sax, he plays guitar and produces beats that you can check out on his Bandcamp. He and Zaven also have a group going on right now called the Edward Spliffington Quartet that is fucking awesome. The second player I met through Zaven is Dylan Kamenko, who's playing bass on Life and Death. I first heard him with the band Q&A, which is a live hip-hop thing. Zaven was playing with them at the time as well. He's involved in a lot of projects, and he's an extremely tasteful and talented player. In addition to hosting live jams, doing session work, playing with bands, and touring, both domestically and internationally, Dylan operates a recording studio in Washington Heights, Manhattan called Audubon Lab. He does excellent work and recently upgraded a lot of his hardware. If you're looking to record in the New York City area, definitely look into working with him. The final player on these recordings is Austin Lacy, a cat who I befriended when doing my undergrad at North Texas, and who played some of my original music there. He's a killer guitar player and composer. Who's been living in the city for several years, and lately doesn't play out much because he's building a business. But I was able to convince him to come shred with these cats on this project, and he absolutely did. So that's pretty much the band here, how I know them, and what they're doing. Check out Life and Death. You can listen to it on Spotify and download it pretty much everywhere music is sold online. Peace, y'all.